Alright, here we are back again. I reread the chapter a few times. So, in case you guys are new here, which pretty much everyone is new here when it comes to this video, I'm doing like a more in-depth analysis review of last night's chapter. Or if you're looking at this later on, episode 219. So, basically, I'm gonna give my thoughts and opinions, kind of cite back some of the things that happened, and give my own thoughts and opinions about that. It's like my usual reviews, just I took more time to actually review it. So without further ado, here we go. Alright, I'm gonna be honest here. Episode 219 is a whole build-up chapter, obviously. Like, something obviously bigger is gonna happen in the foreseeable future with the way things are being set up. Like, it honestly feels like one of them chapters, if I had to be real. The beginning is pretty much where we left off, is with Remy and Arlo talking, and Arlo's character development here was just straight delicious. Like, just straight delicious. Like, I can sit here and just eat and take in that mess for days on end. And I'm gonna be real here, the payoff in the beginning had me full, because when I look back at chapter 218, the dialogue was different. It was different for Arlo. But then we come back here, it's like I literally hit him with the recap, thinking it was like the same as the previous chapter, so Arlo got me there. But with this one, with the panels being different, we're seeing like Remy's point of view this time around here, and honestly, I'm totally fine with that. Like, she asked about what happened, why Arlo looks like he's upset, and saying he's all over the place, and I'm gonna be real, this has not really been thought about, but we got a hint of this like a while back. Like, not the recent episodes, I do mean way back. So you guys remember episode 204, he talked with his aunt. And if we really want to be real, we can really go back to episode 614 where he talks to Serafina. And he says he's completely lost and that Wilson is a total disaster. And this is the earliest we see him, as Remy implies, all over the place. Because if we keep going on forward, we see that he no longer wants the title. He wants to focus on other things, like the safe house. Well, now. But on Arlo's aunt, Vulcan, Valerie, whatever the heck he want to call her, we all know who it is at this point. Doesn't want him to do what he wants. He just wants him to stick with society rules. And after that chapter, we see him literally constantly debate over it. Like, this man quits the safe house, talks to Serafina, Arlo's aunt words come to play again, then we get episode 212 of everything that's happened, we see him debate over that, then we get the whole thing with Spectre happening, then it's so on and so forth. Like, literally he just got hit in the face so many times, and it's freaking crazy. But back to the chapter. Remy is like obviously worried about him, and when he brings it to the authorities, it's kind of like, well, damn. Like, he believed in them so much in the beginning, then he got hit with that reality check in the previous chapters. And when Arlo asked that question to Remy, it feels like this man like finally understands everything. Like, after 200 plus chapters, like, this man like realized, man, the authorities ain't shit. Like, he said he was sorry, and that mess was like crazy. Like, this character development here was just really freaking delicious, bruh. Because I feel like everything this man experienced has literally came full circle and brought him to the light. And I'm gonna be honest, that's the way to open up a chapter, bruh. Like, that mess on its own got me hooked. So we're on the title card now, and then at the title card we finally see Evie again. She's talking with Serafina about getting drinks, possibly at Wobaba. I can never pronounce the name right. I think I did it right this time. And Sarah had to pass because the reacquisition begins here, man. So literally the next segment we see Caden, and we see him reading a organic chemistry textbook, and that actually opened the doors to a lot of stuff. Like, real talk, it does. Like, we haven't seen college students, and this is literally the first one we've seen. And it brings up the question, like, what is college life like? Is it the same as Wilson? is like the same as other schools. Like, we don't know what the other schools are like since we just been focusing on, well, Wellston. And I feel like it gives a different view because what we see at Wellston is just nothing but violence. Just pure, unadulterated violence. Like, the stuff that people want to see. Like, I feel like what's going on in Wellston is kind of different from what's going on in the actual outside world. Like, you don't really see much people fighting. From what we've seen is like crazy mid-tiers who got their hands on drugs, but other than that, everything seems relatively normal and peaceful. It's kind of like, well, damn, Vaughn, you're hella suspicious for what's going on. Like, I know you want them to hold in on their abilities and stuff, but letting them fight every day is just gonna make the problem worse. That's just my 2 cents. Like, I understand you want them to fend for themselves, but damn, bruh, you had to step in sometime, not just for John, just for like other stuff. Like, we saw in New Boston, it was like, hey, when John was being somebody, the teachers and literally everybody just came out. Then we go to Wellston, it's just like, oh, just let them fight it out. We got a doctor to heal him. Like, I feel like it should not be that way. But we get taken to the lab right after that, and we see how Serafina is like still untrusting of everything that's happening. And honestly, it's understandable. Like, I mean, she just got in contact with Layla after like 5 years, and it seems like it's a business deal, if anything. Like, the way it was worded makes it seem that way. And I feel like Layla should have, like, you know, in a way, just try to contact Sarah, like do a little checkup or something like that. Like, we understand her reasonings for that, but I still feel like a little like, hey, how you doing? Instead of like having no contact for like 5 years, it's just like, you know, it's sus. It's hella sus. But the next segment is like Serafina's words. Her words like really hit home here. Like, Serafina's talking about holding on grudges from the past won't do her any good, and believe it or not, this hits so far from home, it like takes me back to the womb, bruh. Like, I know exactly what she was referring to when she said that. She was referring to John and herself in that matter. From John, like, we know how his past like literally haunts him, and he tries to hide it, and we see how he is because of New Boston, Keon's methods, and Arlo's inclusion in pretty much fucking up his life. But it really shows that he hasn't let go, and we see how he's acting now. Like, he literally does not care to the point where he just beat anybody that gives him a bad glance. And when I said Serafina referring to herself, is like referring to herself from how she was in the past and stuff for the most recent, like being quote unquote abused by her parents, and how Layla left home, literally ran away from home, and literally losing her ability and falling truly to the bottom of the food chain. It's more like a duality here, if you ask me. But we see Serafina still having concerns on getting her ability back, and we possibly get one. We literally got possibly one of the saddest moments in the series, with Serafina literally recalling everything and trying to reassess everything, seeing what she learned. Like, it was a nice touch if you look at, but ugh, fuck. It was a nice touch because if you look at the dialogue specifically, it's literally everything that needs to be changed. Like, if you literally look back, it's everything that everybody said, like, the school needs to be changed. Then the words of John at the end referring to Unordinary, like something someone has to offer. And with Serafina seeing both sides and understanding that, I think she feels like the hero of Unordinary right now. Because at this moment, John does not care. Like, he's been hurt enough to the point to not care. And Serafina has been hurt too. But she understands it, being on both sides of the spectrum. Like Serafina has listened to others, being the lower tiers. Then she's seen it for herself, like the higher tiers. Like, it's kind of like, I hate saying this, but it really matches a hero of Unordinary, even though the book is dedicated to John. I feel like Unordinary, even though dedicated to John, I think Serafina might end up being a hero in the end. And we all know what that means. Like, we all literally know what that means. That's just my thoughts and opinions about that. Now the conditions for the treatment part. I'm gonna be real. I don't know what they could be, but I'm dropping predictions right now. Okay, Seraphina's ability will come back, but I think A, she will need to take amplifiers or whatever drug it is more often. Like, she need to take doses. B, she will see Layla more often than usual for checkups. C, she gonna be working with Layla to do Spectre work. D, she gonna recruit folks for Spectre. E, she gonna have tests done on her. And F, something else completely absurd is gonna happen. Like, I think it's gonna be like, is Seraphina working her ability back? I think there's gonna be like a freaking time limit or something on it. Like, there's no way someone can get their ability just with a snap of a finger like that. Like, I feel like the conditions there, it rubs me the wrong way because we don't really know what the actual conditions are. And it's kind of like, you know, kind of got a weird feeling to it. And then, like, the last business chapter, like, after literally freaking everything, she still want to help John. Like, that's fucking friendship, man. Like, she said he means a lot to her, and that mess was powerful, bruh. Like, it really was powerful. Like, even after everything, yelling, getting nearly punched by him, legit lying, like, after all that, she still has a soft spot for him, and that's real friendship. Like, really, that's real friendship. Like, when everybody gave up on him, Seraphina was still there. Even after everything, like, shit was fucking powerful, bruh. And then we're at the end of the chapter. Honestly, for a set of chapter, this mess was like so powerful, bruh. Like, you guys don't understand. Like, the words that were shown here, what we were shown and everything, like, it really starts off with something much bigger. Like, the artwork as usual is still good. I didn't see no spelling errors this time, so that's good. And the pacing didn't really feel too fast. Like, the beginning was okay. Like, we see the ending of the last chapter, which is cool. Then we see the beginning of the next chapter with Evie and Seraphina. Then we go on to the park, and then we just keep going on to, like, the lab. Then we see everything that happened in the lab. It didn't feel too fast, and it didn't feel too slow either. It felt like an accurate pace. So yeah. But with that said, that's the end of this review. I hope you guys enjoy. We can do this again next week. Just give me your thoughts and opinions about it. I'm gonna probably put a poll to see if you guys want to keep this. But yeah, that's it for this review. So until next time, people, peace.